Most people are afraid of the dark. And while this is something that we expect from our children, adults hold on to that fear just as tightly. We simply don't talk about it anymore. But it's there, lurking in the back of our minds. Science calls it nyctophobia, the fear of the dark. And since the dawn of humanity, our ancestors have stared into the blackness of caves, tunnels, and basements with a feeling of rot and panic in their bellies. H.P. Lovecraft, the patriarch of the horror genre, published an essay in 1927 entitled Supernatural Horror in Literature. And it opens with this profoundly simple statement. The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. You see, people fear the unknown, the what if, and the things they cannot see. We humans are afraid of the dark. The Berkshire Mountain Range in western Massachusetts sits in the very top left corner of the state. And it's not the Rockies by any stretch of the imagination, but in 1851, those hills were in someone's way. The Troy and Greenfield Railroad Company wanted to lay some track that would cut through the mountains, and so they began work on a tunnel. On the western end sat the town of Florida, with North Adams holding up the eastern end. Between those towns was about 5 miles of solid rock. This building project was no small undertaking, no matter how unimpressive the mountains might be. It ultimately took the crew 24 years to wrap things up, and came at the cost of $21.2 million. In 2015 money, that's $406,493,207. See, it was a big deal. Monetary costs aside, however, construction of the tunnel came with an even heavier price tag. At least 200 men lost their lives cutting that hole through the bones of the earth. One of the first major tragedies occurred on March 20th, 1865. A team of explosive experts, and I use that term loosely because nitroglycerin had just been introduced to America about a year before, entered the tunnel to plant a charge. The 3 men, Brinkman, Nash, and Kelly, who, by the way, his first name was Ringo, which I think is just awesome, did their work and then ran back down the tunnel to their safety bunker. Only Kelly made it to safety. It turns out that he set off the explosion just a bit too early, burying the other 2 men alive. Naturally, Kelly felt horrible about it, but no one expected him to go missing, which he did just a short while later. But the accidents, they didn't end there.